You don't expect this from the start of a movie.
Yeah. This movie had one of the most expensive stunts of the 90s. And when I saw that, I had to look up. I was like, okay, what were the most...
Let me guess. This has just become a Tom Cruise conversation, which is totally fine. We're doing Mission Impossible.
This Mission Impossible.
This was bound to happen.
Yeah.
But
like, what your favorite like spy element in the movie was? Like, I don't know if it was like the mask pull, the gum.
I don't know. It's almost like when I watched the movie, I was kind of like, it didn't really jump out at me, but like once you mentioned it, I remember it being there, and you're right. Like, it really did add to the suspense of those scenes. Like when...
Second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about...
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
English, mother...
Body, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Let's put a smile on that face.
What's up, film family? Welcome to the Film Room Podcast. My name is Scott.
My name's Dion.
And today, in honor, that's what I'm trying to say, in honor of the new Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, coming out next week, we are doing the first one, the one that started it all, Mission Impossible. We're going to go through the movie, of course. We're going to give out our facts, if we have any interesting facts. We're going to have our Filmmies at the end, which is our award show. We're always going to do all that. But this movie came out in 1996. So we were born in 1996. Yeah. So I know you didn't see this in theaters. But my first question is, like, what's your experience with the franchise? What's your connection to this franchise? Like, this one, like I said, I know you didn't see in theaters, but have you watched the other ones as they came out? Did you just binge them? Have you always been a fan? Kind of, what's your connection to the Mission Impossible franchise?
Well, for me, this was a rewatch for me, so it wasn't like my first time seeing it, and I think I appreciated this movie, this watch actually more than I did as a kid, because as a kid, you just kind of watch it just like with rose-colored eyes. You're not really like analyzing really anything. So when you watch it later on, you kind of like you pick up little things and stuff like that. But as far as like the relationship to this movie, it was a movie that I actually kind of introduced me to the spy world. Like, this is the first franchise that I actually got to like. I didn't see like the Bourne movies first. I didn't even see like the James Bond movies first. Like, this was the first time like I got into like spy movies. I watched the three, which at the time it was just a trilogy. So I watched the trilogy like with my mom. My mom really liked those movies. So there's like the nostalgia of that. So like it was just like 1, 2, 3 we watched together, and then it took a while for them to like continue the franchise. I think it was like 5 years they took a hiatus. So at the time it was just like I had a relationship with those first 3 movies, and then it kind of made it switch, kind of like how Fast and Furious kind of made their switch. Like the first 3 movies are like its own thing, and then once they transitioned into the 10s, they became like these much bigger scale movies, bigger budget movies. But what about you though?
Yeah, I mean, scale wise, I feel like the movie the scale's already pretty big, even in the first one. Like, they're trying to get the knock list of all the undercover agents that the CIA has. So I mean, that's a pretty big scale. I mean, I guess it's not like someone will take over the world kind of thing, but like that's still pretty big international problems. No, but true. Like Fast and Furious, I could definitely see that. It's funny you talked about James Bond and Bourne and stuff like that, because I am totally the opposite. This is the last one that I see. I only watched this movie for the first time a couple months ago.
Okay, yeah.
So I saw 007 movies. I saw Bourne movies all before this. So this was not my introduction to the spy
like world
franchise, the spy world.
Yeah.
But I like it. It's got the cool gadgets like you have to have. This one has like the whole mole thing going on, like who's the mole, which I haven't seen too much in the spy genre. Yeah. So that's an interesting piece of this. But yeah, this is a good movie. But yeah, like I've only recently joined it, and I've only seen this one, the second one, and Fallout. And then I got to watch the Dead Reckoning before the new one next week. But too many movies, man.
No, it is low. It's only too many movies when you have like you're trying to catch up in a tight time frame, because otherwise it's just like you just watch them. You know what I mean? It's just like, and that's what I was doing. Like I watched them as they were coming out, and then now when you're like, man, the new movie's coming, I got to watch 8 movies, and then it becomes like it's too much. It's too much. Yeah, I got to make a correction though, because I just realized that it technically it wasn't the first spy movie because I did see the Austin Power movies before.
Okay,
Which
sure.
is kind of a different kind of spy
Yeah.
movie, but I also did see those movies before I did see Mission Impossible. It's a different kind of spy movie.
Yeah. Yeah, a little more comedic, but it's still a spy movie.
No, it is still a spy movie.
So have you seen all of these?
Yeah. I mean, actually, no. I think I actually haven't seen Rogue Nation, which is
Okay.
like it's just like a random one I haven't seen. I don't know why.
Yeah, that feels weird. Why that one?
I don't know. I think because they're not numbered. I think I kind of like when I was like, oh, I'm gonna get back into his. I just started watching them, and I realized I missed one. It was just because they don't make it. It's not like the Fast movies where like they start. I mean, they lost their name.
Yeah,
they lost
don't do
their
that
numbers
anymore either.
Yeah, they lost their numbers and they came back. So like a lot of franchises do that because they don't want to make it seem like it's a. I mean, this franchise completely left it after the third one. Everything is just its own title because they don't want you to feel like, wait, I got to watch how many movies to catch up?
Which you think that's why they do it?
I think so. I realize that with a lot of franchises, it's like when you like even like for example like the what's it called, the Final Destination movie, like they called it Final Destination Bloodlines instead of calling it Final Destination 6 because I think when you ever put a number on it, it just makes it seem almost like intimidating where it's just like, oh, man, I gotta watch that many movies versus if it's just like, because I think for most part you can watch this movie as just every single Mission Impossible you can watch an individual movie. They don't make it like you have to, oh, you're not gonna understand. They're the little things, like a little bit of like for the fans where it's like, oh, okay, I get that, but it's not so much like, wait, who's that guy, and if they do that, then they'll explain it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was gonna say because like I said, I watched Fallout after watching 1 and 2, so there's a bunch that I skipped. Because that's the one that you told me. Like, you were like, you got to check that one out. That's the one that you got to watch.
Henry Cavill, yes,
Henry Cavill. Yeah, I loved it. That was really
bathroom
good.
fight
was sick. Yeah, that was sick. Even the final like fight at the like the compound or like the secluded area where it's like a hospital setup or whatever was sick, and they're like trying to disarm 2 bombs at the same time. He's getting the dead. Yeah, that was crazy.
It's wild.
But so in that movie, there was definitely some characters that I was like, I don't really know who this is, but they explain it enough so that I know who. I don't get all the benefit because I don't know the full backstory.
Yeah,
like when he's like with his wife, I'm like, oh, okay, he was married and now they're separated, or they do explain it, but it's just little stuff like that you kind of you miss out on. But like I said, I still enjoyed the movie, and it's an action movie at the end of the day, so if the action's good, then
exactly. And I do suggest, obviously, like I'm not saying you, for anyone that's listening, maybe it's like, oh, you should go watch all the movies if you can, but don't feel like you have to. It's like, I can't enjoy the new Mission Impossible if I don't see all of it. That's not true. You can still enjoy it. I think you can, if you at bare minimum at least see the first movie and then go see the new one, and I think you can still enjoy it, because I think there'll be like little things that you'll recognize, but like there'll be like little nods to the first movie, just certain things, this thing will self-destruct in 5 seconds, like that's a classic, you know what I mean? Like, like the mask, him revealing, like that's like there's so many different things that at least you'll appreciate it more. It's like, hey, it's just like, you know what I mean, versus but you can still enjoy that even if you've never seen it.
My plan is to watch the Dead Reckoning before going into the Final Reckoning. I don't think I'll have time to watch all of them. But I will come back to them because I'm enjoying these movies, so why wouldn't I? So
no, for sure.
And Tom Cruise is great. Like, I was never a big Tom Cruise guy. I mean, a big part of that was that I had never seen these movies, and I even like Top Gun, I hadn't seen till maybe actually it was when the new one came out. When Top Gun Maverick came out is when I watched the first one, and then Top Gun Maverick. So all before that, I haven't really seen him in much.
Which is fair though. That kind of goes to your point of what we were saying about like, we were born in 1996, because like that was like his launching pad. Like he was already making so many movies. He was in freaking like The Firm. He was in like The Color of Money. He was, like you said, he was in Top Gun Maverick. Like he was in like, there's like the 4th of July. There's so many more of those big movies he was in, and it was before we were even born.
Yeah.
And then he became the Mission Impossible guy for like our generation, and that's kind of what he's just leaned into for like the past like 15. 20
he's just
years,
the action guy.
Yeah.
Ethan Hunt, and I mean it's weird because like he is a prototypical perfect movie star.
Yeah.
I think like this has just become a Tom Cruise conversation, which is totally fine. We're doing Mission Impossible.
This Mission Impossible.
This was bound to happen.
Yeah.
But because like he's a good looking dude. I think his acting is very like safe.
Yeah.
If I could say that, like he does kind of what you expect him to do.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. I want Keith, you were saying I want to go on further on that.
But so I feel like that just works. Like it's a very general appeal, which is what a movie star has to be, right? It can't be someone that's necessarily unlikable. You're not going to give him an unlikable character. He's going to be the character that's going to come in. He's never going to miss a shot. He's never going to get beat in a fight. Like he's your guy. The only thing is that like he's short.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean that he can't still be a badass, but in the movie industry where like your top guy has to be big and strong and whatever. So they have ways of kind of like
hiding it. Yeah.
But other than that, I think he's a movie star, and like he's created the international
press tour.
Like he leans into he's climbing buildings. This guy's a fucking
it's insane.
I love this. He's
It's insane. And if like anyone had any doubt where it's just like when the Top Gun Maverick came out, like the fact that like it's like it's a big actually I don't even know, I can't even say it's that big of a franchise. It was a one movie thing. And there's like, is it gonna work? You're doing like, because they do this all the time where they take movies from like the 80s or the 90s and they try to make a remake or like come a legacy sequel just to see if it's a cash grab. That movie made $1.4 billion. Like it had no business. It was a great movie. Yeah, I know it was, but it had no business. It's just like those kind of movies have no business making that much money. Like you hear 1.4 billion, and it's these giant franchises of like Star Wars, Marvel, Jurassic Park, Pirates of the Caribbean, Avatar. Top Gun Maverick. Like it's crazy. That's off the back of Tom Cruise and just how hard it's like every movie he's in is like a passion project to him. He's like, we're gonna do I'm gonna train for like we made the jokes about like weapons training from the amateur, but like he doesn't play around. Like whatever movie or thing he's gonna be in, he just puts so much effort into it. He's gonna go all over the world to promote it. He's gonna climb buildings, like go to London and like be on top of he's just gonna do the most to promote whatever he's doing.
Yeah, he's a sicko.
He's a sicko,
but I love it, and it shows in the movie. Like I don't know. It's acting. Everybody, all the physical actors, the action stars, they all do the fight scenes and everything. But it feel like you can really see that he's giving it his all. Like it feel. I mean, he's a great physical actor. That's what I was saying. His acting is very safe. I think in his monologues or or dialogues when he's talking to people, I think it's it's kind of whatever. I don't think he's the greatest actor, but his physical acting is top tier. And then he does the same, like, because I feel like he's doing it in real life. Like this is he's literally training. He is Ethan Hunt. Like he's climbing these buildings, he's fighting these people. He's insane.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's all about making it believable, right? And he's just like. He's like, you have to believe I'm Ethan Hunt. I'm gonna do all these things. Even at my age of 60, as we're jumping to like nowadays, I'm still gonna try to do all the stunts that I physically can. Push
hanging
my body
off
to
helicopters
the limits. Insane.
Yeah. So we got our family meeting.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh wait. Oh yeah.
Well, let's get into the family meeting.
Let's get into the family meeting.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Let's go.
All right, welcome to the family meeting, everybody. This is where the listeners join in on the conversation. This week on our Instagram story, I asked the question, what is your favorite movie of the franchise? And I'm curious to get your answer. Okay. But we got Kobe, no relation. His favorite is Ghost Protocol.
Okay.
He said, and I said, why? I said, tell me why. He said, picture it. I love the way he structured this. Ghost Protocol, picture it. It's 2011, and Cruise climbs the biggest building and whipping a BMW i8. So, like I said, I haven't even seen that one.
Okay.
But what are your thoughts on that?
No, it's a really good one. I like that too. Honestly, I feel like you could do that with so many of them. It's just like picture it and just pick the stunt that you really like, because there's so many great stunts. That is a really good one though. I like that. That's a good pick.
And in 2011, I don't know how old Kobe no relation is, but I'm assuming he's around our age. So it would have been in the sweet spot. You're like a early teenager, maybe a
yeah,
preteen. Yeah. And
yeah,
you're just
something
like,
around that. Yeah,
yeah. And
no,
you're just wowed by this big, dope action movie.
I'm not mad. That's a good pick. I like that.
And then we got our boy El Pulpo Sucio.
Okay, shout out.
He says, I guess the third. I think it's the only one I've seen. I don't even know how many there are now.
Hey, that's fair, bro. That's
hey,
fair.
man, sure.
There is a lot. We were saying there is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I don't blame you for not watching them. I haven't seen them all, so I can't blame you for not watching them all. But what is the third one? And because I watched the second one and I was like,
well, that's actually my
but...
things with it. Like that's kind of why, because like I think the first one's solid. I think the second one and the third one, like they just then they kind of like just blend into just like, okay, it's just like a cool action movie. And at that point, the Bourne movies was taken over. I kind of leaned more into those at the time too, because I was like, okay, Mission Impossible is cool. We got Bourne. Now we're starting to get Daniel Craig's, and those movies were superior, I think, to the Mission Impossibles. They kind of faded away, and I feel like they had to kind of like regroup. Like, how do we? Now we got some real competition with some of these other movies coming out. The Fast and Furious, like I mentioned, like those movies are like they're not interconnected in any way or anything like that. They all kind of like live on their own space of like action movies, but at the end of the day, they're all kind of competition. You can go see all of them. It's not like if you see this, you can't see the other one. But
yeah,
I just feel like those Mission Impossible movies were like didn't live up to what was going on in the action movies around that time. So I agree. Like I think 2 and 3 were kind of like okay.
Yeah. I mean,
but then it takes off.
Yeah, Bourne is probably my favorite of the three, and I mean it's not fair really for Mission Impossible because again, haven't seen them all, and I don't have the nostalgia thing attached because I'm watching them now, whereas Bourne I watched them when they came out. But to me, like what I love more about the Bourne movies is that they're a little more grounded. You know, like Mission Impossible, James Bond. They have the cool, like, interesting gadgets that they don't really make sense, but like, who the hell cares? It's a super cool action movie. But in Bourne, like, he's doing crazy stuff with just what's around him in the room,
hand to hand.
and he's a lot of hand to hand. You're right, and it's a lot of mental stuff. Like he's tricking people and he's misleading people. So that's kind of what I liked about it. But I mean the appeal, it's just a different appeal, I guess.
Yeah.
But you're right, the competition, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, and then to answer your question too, you asked me. I think it's Rogue. I think it's Rogue. What's it called? No, Fallout. Sorry, I'm saying Rogue Nation because we're just talking about. But I think and that's why I told you to see it because I was like, because that one I think was when I was like, I was just kind of watch them because I was like, you know what, like I just want to stay up with them. Let me just because I like this franchise. But then when I watched Fallout, I was like, I'm all in. I'm all in. As if they keep making more, like I'm seeing it at IMAX, and like that movie like really got me back into it. And I love Cavill as Superman. So I was like, let me see why he had to get that. He had to have that stupid ass CGI because he had a mustache because they said he's going to be in freaking. I don't know. Do you remember that?
Wait, the mustache is fake?
The mustache he had in Fallout is real. But when he was shooting Superman for Justice League, he didn't shave his mustache when he was shooting Superman because he was shooting Fallout at the same time. And he was obligated not to shave his mustache. So they had to CGI his mustache off. And the CGI looks like garbage.
In Justice League?
In Justice League, guys. Go back and look at that.
I did not know that.
Go back and look at him fighting them when they show him in Justice League. It looks so stupid. It looks like something's weird going on with his face. And it's because he has mustache from Fallout.
Oh, I did not know that. Another reason Justice League sucks.
But yeah, definitely Fallout though. That's what like brought my faith back in the.
So is your favorite because of Cavill, or is there anything more?
Well, no, I think like I said, the bathroom scene. Like it was just to me, it was just like a specific scene that just stuck with me so much. I was like, this is crazy action. It's like just some simple, just hand to hand combat, two guys fighting. And it's just like they didn't really need to be like hanging off a building or anything, which is, again, I'm not like crapping on that if you do that. I think that stuff is really cool too. But I was like, I didn't think when the scene was going into that, I didn't think we were going to get what we got in that scene. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I got to see it and like I saw it in the theater and everything too. So I was like, obviously like adds more of the atmosphere to it. And I was just like, okay, this is sick.
Yeah. Seeing it at theater would make a big, like, I haven't seen any of these in the theater. I've seen the three that I saw at home. So the new one that I'm going to watch in a theater, that's going to be dope. I mean, any action movie is just going to be so elevated by being in the theater. I mean, pretty much every movie is going to be elevated,
Yeah.
but like a rom-com or a comedy, I guess maybe
Yeah.
a comedy only, I would say, if
Good
it's so funny
audience.
that everyone's
Yeah.
laughing, that's what kind of like juices the
100%.
atmosphere. But like it's not really the theater itself, like the
No.
big screen and the speakers and everything. It's just kind of watching it with people.
No, for sure. No, 100% agree.
So this movie, so when do you remember watching it for the first time? Like what stood out to you?
Well, when I watched it for the first time, like you said, I was a little kid and I watched it at home, so
fair.
like I didn't. It was like wasn't a theater experience, but I don't know. I just remember the mask thing. I always thought was cool, and like the whole like this thing will like I mentioned earlier, like, the message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. I always thought it was like a cool kind of thing, and I think the train scene is something that I remembered. I didn't remember so much like the fish tank, and then the what was the other big one? Well, actually, no, the
The
hanging.
vault,
Yeah, the
hanging
whole
in the
the vault.
vault.
Yeah, but the train one I remembered. But but as a kid, I didn't really like see like really like think about like how crazy it actually was. Like you kind of just like you see like you watch superhero movies, you kind of take everything for like I would say take everything for granted, but you're just not thinking like how crazy like the stunts are. Like obviously he wasn't
Yeah.
actually on a real train, but just the visuals of it look so cool, and then like you're appreciating it. So that's something that stuck with me, and like I kind of remembered from like this rewatch.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's the action. It's the action for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting because that's kind of one of my points is that like I think there's not enough action in
Okay.
this movie. I
Mhm.
think in the later ones there's more. They really lean into being an action movie, but a lot of this movie is like finding the mole.
Mm.
And I think it's great as well.
Yeah.
Like I think a big reason for why there's not as much action in this is just because it's shorter. This
Yeah.
is less than 2 hours.
Mhm.
It's a first movie, so you're not gonna get your big runtime. So they kind of bought that longer leash for the later movies, so that they
Mhm.
can put more action in it, which I understand. But the finding the mole stuff, I think it was really like it's a great idea. It's not nothing we've never seen before. There's a
Yeah.
traitor amongst this group, and we got to
Mhm.
find who it is. But the fact that they added in the point that they think he's the mole, so he has to
Yeah.
find the mole while avoiding them because they think it's him. Like that creates such a great dynamic in this movie that I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, no, for sure. And for those that didn't know, like the Mission Impossible franchise, like it started off as like a TV show. So like
Mhm.
one thing I do want to mention too is like I think the opening is a strong thing too, because if you know the Mission Impossible franchise, you know it's that's I think that's what's different about, even though Ethan Hawke is like that's your lead, it's all about team. Like Bourne is like it's individual guy, James Bond's individual guy, and a lot of people like help him and stuff like that. But it's all of individual. This is Mission Impossible's always been about the team. It's always
Yeah, good
been about
point.
like it's always been about the
Yeah.
group. So when they're establishing the team at the beginning, you're expecting like, oh, we're getting into us. I think it's actually a pretty good twist to have them dying, because I went back to watch the trailer just to see. They don't even like say in the trailer that like, oh, your whole team's dead. What are you gonna do? Like they kind of hide that. So it's actually a pretty good twist. You think this is gonna be the Mission Impossible squad, and it's not. Like you
Right.
kill them right in the beginning, so you're kind of like, oh snap. Like this isn't like usually how Mission Impossible is. It's usually about the team, and his whole team just gets killed in the first like act. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. You're right. The spy is always a one man army type of thing, but that's not what this is.
Yeah.
I mean, he can do it,
Yeah.
but he's always recruiting help. That's a really good point. And you're right, the twist as well, because if you watch the show and then this movie's coming out and you're like, "Oh, I love the Mission Impossible show. We're going to see all these characters. We're going to see the captain, we're going to see Jim and Claire
Yeah.
and all these people." And then all of them, they run them all down. You see them all at the start of the movie. Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
And then they all die. They're like, holy shit. Yeah, it's what you're
Yeah.
not expecting. You're right. It is a great twist. And I remember the first time I watched it, same thing. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I was expecting them all to die. You're right. It's a great start to the movie. What do you think of like Kittredge, like his side of the story, like him looking for him, like, you know what I mean?
In what sense? Like, what do you mean? Like,
I feel like it's kind of an underdeveloped part of the story,
okay.
in my opinion. Like you have, because like I said, he thinks that Ethan's the mole,
Yeah.
so he's kind of looking for him. When he gives him the floppy disk to mask and to Max, and it's a fake one, so that they has a homing device and they come in and try and get him. But other than that, we don't really see him much. We kind of, you know, when he steals the information from the CIA in Langley, he's there, but he doesn't really try to get a hold of him. Like I felt like his side of the story was kind of, I mean, he's not the main character. He's not
Yeah.
supposed to be in it as much, but I don't know. I found that part was a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, I see your point too. I always wonder with those things too, because it's like when you're trying to establish, because like even though it's a franchise that existed before, it was more of like an older audience. So then now they're trying to introduce this Mission Impossible world to like a new audience. Like now it's the 90s. That show was really old. It came out like in like the 60s, I
And
think, and then
yeah,
ended in
66 to 73.
yeah, and then they kind of try to bring it back a little bit again, like in the late 80s. So they were kind of just like, all right, we're trying to like open this up to a new audience. So like we want them to like fall in love with like these main characters or like Ethan Hunt. So I think they just wanted to see like get people to like that character versus trying to, I guess, because back maybe they weren't sure if this was going to turn into multiple movies. Like we don't really need to focus on like that guy because this is the people we want people to enjoy. Like is Tom Cruise. Like focus on this guy. I do see
Yeah.
your point though.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Like it's Tom Cruise is your guy. Like this
Yeah.
is who the movie is about. It should be focused on him. But I think they could have almost like made him like a villain.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of villain, but like a not in a villain in the sense of he's a bad guy, but in the sense of he's going after Ethan because that's what
Yeah.
he is, right? He thinks that Ethan's the mole, so he could have been more in that villain role because we don't know who the Job the mole.
Yeah.
We don't know who that is, so like that's I guess the villain of the movie, but
Mhm.
we don't even know who it is. So he could have been like a secondary villain almost, like
Yeah, true.
trying to stop Ethan here and there, and he is trying to stop him, but maybe we could have got a little more of it. But
Yeah.
again, shorter runtime, so I'm trying
No,
to be
I
fair.
see your point though. I see your point. I guess they just wanted to focus on just like let's get the mission aspect into it and just like yeah, just all the just what he's going through. But I see your point though. I get it.
Should we jump into the plot then?
Yeah, going
Get
right
going into the movie. So we start, like you said, with this first kind of action scene. The mission to photograph Galitzin stealing the knock list. The whole team dies.
Yeah.
I mean, you made your point of like, you weren't expecting, but do you have any other notes on this scene?
I think Jack getting impaled through the face it was crazy, man. Like I don't know, they did him pretty. I don't know if that's the worst. Like, do you think he got like Jack got impaled, Sarah got like stabbed off screen, so you can really see it, and then like Hannah's car explodes.
Hannah gets blown up. Yeah, that was pretty tough. Yeah, Jack probably got it the worst. I
Yeah.
mean, my note is that he was kind of cheeks though. Like what so he's the hacker, right, of the
Yeah.
group. And when Ethan and Sarah are trying to get into the elevator,
Mhm.
he's like trying to get her
Or ID.
photo ID,
Yeah.
to be in the system or whatever, and he's taking forever and it's not working. He ends up getting it done. Classic movie thing, right? At the
Yeah.
last second, he gets it done. And then he couldn't open the doors to the elevator. He kept getting overrode by, I guess it's Jim who's like overriding him from the home base, but like I don't know, man. You couldn't get a lot of your stuff going. You got to just be better.
Yeah, I know, because like they picked this specific team. Like you think like, okay, we're giving you the best, bang, bang, bang. It's like, okay, these guys are everyone's good, everyone's legit, and this guy is just it seems like he's just fumbling right from the beginning.
Exactly, and no one else was doing that.
Yeah,
like you had Sarah with or was it Claire? I think with the glasses, and
Yeah.
she was watching over everything. She looked calm, cool. She
Mhm.
knew what she was doing. You had Sarah, who was supposed to like distract Ethan and get
Yeah.
him away from the people and bring him downstairs. She sprayed the marking spray on on the dude's head. That was a cool little
little security guy. Yeah,
yeah, that was a cool little I want to say gadget, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just these cool little spy things that they have in
Mhm.
this movie. And it's so funny. Like, it's so dated. Like, at the very first scene when Jim gets the message,
Mhm.
he
Oh, it's a
puts a
tape.
cassette tape in the freaking plane seat. He's got
Yeah.
these tiny little airplane headphones on. I was like, this is supposed to be super like high
Yeah, I
tech,
know.
but like Jesus Christ.
No, that's so true.
But and then we learn about the gum. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
gum bomb explosion thing.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
No, yeah, that's always like that classic move. Like they're setting the table, like, well, this is definitely getting used.
Yeah, 100%.
Like they're not going to introduce a gadget. Like if you need to, it's like okay, it's getting used.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of when, just explaining it to us. But yeah,
yeah, you're totally right. But like, I love that about these movies.
Same.
Like these are popcorn movies. Like you know what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
and it bangs every time.
Yeah,
like
no,
when every time he uses the gum, you're like, hell yeah,
yeah,
hell yeah,
100%.
But it's weird. That's almost like the only gadget that he gives him. I was expecting maybe like more, you know. Like James Bond, he always gets like 5 things.
Oh,
he gets
yeah.
the watch that he can
100%.
blow up, and the pen that can release a gas, and all
so
sorts of
true.
stuff.
No, 100%. Or yeah, like a little mini gun in like the shoe gun or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he only really gets some of the gum. I mean, I guess he didn't have time to give him anything else. Maybe he was working on some other stuff and he got impaled, so he only got to give him one thing.
I think Jack is just lazy. Man.
Yeah,
he's not
maybe.
good at his job. Not good at his job.
It's the bare minimum.
So then, yeah, we find out that they think he's the mole.
Mm-hmm.
He blows up the fish tank. There is so much water.
Oh yeah,
in that fish tank. Holy crap!
You know what the crazy thing is? Like I saw like a behind the scenes thing of like they had real fish in there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
They
like
killed
why?
Fish?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I saw the behind the scenes thing, and they're like, "Oh, we had like 16 tons of water, and we had real fish in there." And I'm like, "Why'd you have real fish in there? What's the point? You knew you were gonna blow it up."
Yeah, what the hell? How is? There's got to be like rules.
PETA wasn't around.
PETA wasn't around.
PETA wasn't around back then, I guess. It just seems so unnecessary. Like no one was just like, "Wait, why?" If we're gonna Oh, because it looks cool when they're floating around there for the scene. Yeah, but we're gonna kill them all. It's like,
yeah. I mean, you can have them for when Kittredge and Ethan are talking to each other.
Yeah,
so you have real fish in the background. But then when you blow it up, just have water.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't really even see. I guess you can see them when it all pours out into the street, and they're kind of like just flopping around. But I don't know. Other than that,
yeah, I know. Other than that, I don't understand. I thought, what'd you think of that scene?
Which one, the fish?
Yeah, well, just the little like, the back and forth between him and
it
Ethan.
was. I mean, it was good. Like I said, I like that it's set up that they think he's the mole. We know that it's. I guess we don't know for certain that it's not him.
Yeah,
I mean, we know that he didn't kill Jim. But he could have orchestrated this whole thing. You know, we don't know. We also never know who's who. It could be somebody with a mask on.
Yeah, no, that's true.
but I mean, having seen the scene, you know, him going to the bridge and then coming back, seeing that Sarah got killed and Galitzin got killed. But then in the fish scene, when Kittredge explains to him, saying, "Yeah, it was just a mole hunt. Like it's fake. That's not actually the knock list." That was a good little twist. It also kind of shows him, he's like, wow, so my whole team died for a fake list? Like, geez, that kind of sucks. But and then Kittredge, it's like, yeah, we're bringing you in. Like, you're the mole. You're the only one to survive. So we assume it's you. And then so he's got to blow it up and get out. But it's just it's great setup and almost a great little twist. Like, great start to this movie.
Yeah, and I think it's like the building of tension in that scene too was done really well. And like I gotta shout out like the what's it called, Brian De Palma, and I guess like the cinematographer too, because like they had that little tilt shot, like as the conversation like got more serious, like I don't know if you noticed, like they got like the zoom ins on their face, but they had it like tilted and it kept going back and forth, and it was just like it got more and more intense, and it was just like the slow build of just like, oh, something's gonna happen, like you see like Ethan like reaching into his pocket, like, oh, something, like I thought it was the tension in that was built so well.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. I think that's also a credit to their performances, where it's like, you know, Ethan goes in with the mindset that this guy's on his side, right? He's going to help him and they're going to figure this thing out. And Kittredge is starting out that way, saying, you know, like, don't worry about it. You know, the whole thing was a mole hunt. You know, your team got, you know, I'm sorry about that, but, you know, we'll figure it out, blah, blah, blah. He kind of eases him into it. And then his tone starts to switch where he's like, well, like you said, you're the only one that's left. Yeah, we got passports for you. We got this for you. And then like And then, like you said, the angle shots and the close-ups, like we feel like we're breathing down their neck, and you're just like, oh shit,
Yeah.
this isn't a good conversation. Like this guy, he's trying to wrap him up. I don't think he's trying to kill him, but he's trying to get him. Like,
trying to do
yeah,
something.
something crazy is gonna happen.
And another thing I saw about that scene too is like more of the behind the scenes stuff is apparently like that stunt, because when you just watch it, like when you see it in the movie, you see for what it is, like exploding. You see Tom running out, like as the water and everything stuff is flying behind him. But apparently he didn't want to do the stunt at first because like everything, like the glass and like the water, they were like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it in time. Like, and he's like, I'm more concerned about the logistics and the safety of others. Like, I'm not so much myself because like I'm okay with doing the stunt. But like you go watch the scene, it's so like quick. If he doesn't run as fast as he can, he literally says that, like, yeah, I could have got like hit by glass. Like, I could have just completely got wiped out by that water. He's like, it was like literally, it's just like water breaks, book it, and it's just go. And if you don't, if you trip or you fall over, you're just getting taken over by the water. It's crazy. They're actually dangerous.
It's Tom Cruise, man.
It's Tom Cruise, man. It's
Tom
crazy,
Cruise.
man.
It's what he's gonna do. I remember you were saying when the news came out that the Oscars is introducing a stunt category.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh man, like we couldn't. Too bad it wasn't there when Jackie Chan was in his prime, but Tom Cruise as well.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a different type of action. Like it's not just like hand to hand.
Like hand to hand that Jackie does. Yeah.
It's more running and jumping and explosions and all that craziness.
But stunts are stunts. I mean,
yeah, they're different, but like still top tier, both of them.
Oh, 100%.
But it's interesting. Like Jackie was never like I guess he is a movie star. Would you say he's a movie star?
Well, he definitely was in China.
True.
And like during the Rush Hour stage, I think those movies were box office. It was the mix of him and Chris, like those guys together in the Rush Hour. People were like, all right, they're making the movie, I'm going to see it. Like there's only 3 of them, but people went out and those movies made money. So that's what
I mean. This is just Tom. Like Tom.
Yeah.
Tom. We were talking about how much I feel like he's the perfect movie star. I mean, Jackie. There is in his defense the language barrier.
Yeah.
So that makes it more difficult. But I don't know. I don't like. I see them on the same level as like stunt wise. But then like in the movie star space, I feel like I don't see them as equal. I don't know why that is.
Which is fair. I mean, it's because it's different, right? It's like Hollywood versus. Well, I don't know what the industry is called in China. I don't know if it's just the Chinese film industry. I don't know if they have a name for it, but yeah, I know. I think it's like you said. I think it's just that barrier of just like the cultures, but yeah, it is a different era like that, especially like the early 2000s. You're talking about movie stars, like you're talking Tom Cruise, you're talking Brad Pitt, it's Leo, it's Will Smith, you know what I mean, Denzel, like those, like that's the level of like, especially in that era too, is before streaming and all those things. Before it's like there was limited movies that came out, and it's just like when you see a person, you're like, I'm gonna go see the Tom Cruise or the new Will movie. Now it's like a little different. There's YouTube videos, there's TikTok videos, there's way more things to do. There's all these different video games, but back then it was just like big stars, big movie. There's like 12 movies that come out every single year. You know what I mean? So it was a lot more limited, and it was like the faces and like, I'm gonna go watch that guy's movie, even if it's garbage.
I'm lobbying for Jackie Chan. He's not in that level. He's in that tier.
All right, maybe we'll see how the Karate Kid movie does. And I mean, that's franchise and also him, so it's a little bit, it's a mix, but
and we're a little past his prime at this point.
Hey, maybe he'll do some. He'll still probably do some stunts.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure he will. I mean, it's funny you were saying now there's YouTube and all this stuff. The first scene in this movie, like you said, they didn't say in the trailer that his whole team was going to die. Yeah. If it came out today, they probably would have told us all that shit.
That's 100% I was thinking too. His whole team dies. They think he's a mole. We're going to show you the entire stunt and from the movie, and go check it out. It's like, well, thanks. I just saw the whole movie.
He's got to steal the knock list from CIA.
They're going to tell
How's
you
he
everything.
Gonna do it?
They tell you everything.
It's going to be a vent from the top of the vault. How is he going to get through it?
Exactly. And they'll show you it. They're not going to leave anything out.
I was really thinking that, like, we got the Superman trailer. It was like official trailer. I was like, official trailer? Haven't we seen like 4 trailers already?
Yeah, I know.
Thank God we got the trailer. All we had before this was a sneak peek, a first look of like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I know. Too much.
What are we doing?
Too much.
Yeah. Okay, so then he meets so he finds out Claire's alive.
Yeah.
So he goes back to the apartment finds out about the Job 3:14. He's looking
Yeah.
through the Bible, sending emails. Finds out Claire's alive. Did you have anything to say about this, kind of how he figures
This
stuff out?
was what I was kind of referencing before when I talked about like the acting style, because I feel like in that moment I was like, man, he's so intense in this moment. And I feel like that was kind of just like the style of like action heroes. Like everyone was just so intense. Like you go watch like Stallone or like any of those guys. Like you go like if you watch like a Rambo or you watch like any of those action movies, like it was just like you had to be so intense. Like I don't know, I just feel like that was just like a style. Like if you're gonna be like the lead action guy, you just got to be. It's just like this tough masking. Like what? I was just like, you don't have to be like that, dog. Like
You better have your asshole clenched for
yeah,
every scene. Of
that's
this
what I'm
movie.
saying. I'm like, dude, calm down a little bit. I just feel like they don't. That's not as much as a thing anymore.
Yeah, like you're sending an email, bro.
Yeah, you
Chill
have to be
out.
so intense.
I felt like honestly that scene, it was really slow. Like I watched this movie with Alexis, and at the end of it, this is what she was watching for the first time. I was like, "What'd you think?" She was like, I liked it, but I find it was kind of boring." That was kind of what I was talking about, like more action. She loves popcorn movies. She loves action. She loves that stuff. So, but like with this, when he's trying to figure out, okay, what's Job 3:14, who's Job, like I think it's interesting, but it's a long scene where he's like sending multiple emails and like, you don't need to show us all of this stuff. And it's like the 1996 laptop. Like every time he sends an email, we get an icon of a letter being sent. I was like,
I know, it's hilarious.
Why did they do away with this? I want this every time I send an email now.
You know what it was? It's Apple. Those are because I don't know if you noticed, it was a Macs. They're all Macs, and I saw that like Apple paid like $15 million like to be in the movie. So they're like,
damn.
Every time someone's using a laptop, we're holding on these scenes, yo.
Oh,
because that was the introduction to their laptop. Like this is like their first time putting on like the MacBook, so they're like, we're gonna put some heavy focus on those laptops, and like that was like a cool I looked more into it too, because I was like their whole like marketing camp. There was like, these laptops are good enough that Ethan Hunt's gonna use them. And it's like, dang. I was like, it's actually pretty cool. I mean, and then it clearly worked out.
Right.
So it was a good investment, but I think that's maybe that's part of the reason why we got such long like laptop scenes showing off their product.
Maybe you're right. But when Claire comes in, do you remember? I mean, like you said, when we watched it for the first time, you were a kid, so you maybe weren't really thinking.
Oh, did I remember that way?
Did you think she was suspicious, like she was the mole, or do you remember?
No, I kind of believed it. And you know what? Honestly, I haven't seen this movie in so long. I forgot she flipped. So like when she came in, she's like, "Hey, he said we'd all meet back here at 4 or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, that seems sense, right." Yeah. Like she doesn't seem like anyone like I didn't seem like suspicious or anything. Like she didn't act suspicious. Sometimes they'll do that in the movies where they'll have someone like maybe like looking at a paper and be like, "What's that?" Nothing. Just she never like seemed suspicious. So I didn't like. It actually got me again because I completely forgot.
And it got Ethan. He didn't know.
Yeah. No, exactly.
So good job, Claire. You're right. When she says like he said if anything goes wrong, meet back here at 4:00, and he does say that at the start of the movie. We see him say that, so her story checked out. So yeah, good point. So we meet Max.
Yeah.
He finds Max, the arms dealer, makes the deal to steal the knock list. Did you have anything to say about Max? What do you think about Max?
I liked the little, and there was a little bit of it in the earlier the movie too, like when we're like they're showing like the POV shots, because like we're seeing like what's it called, Ethan's like POV when he's has the mask on, like the old man, like when Sarah's talking to him, and then we also get this too when they're like he's going to see Max, and he's like getting in the car, and they're like, "Wait, take off your hat." Why? And like to put the mask on him. So I thought that was just a cool the way they shot that. Like they're just getting creative with just how they're just visually like showing everything. So I thought that was cool, just the way they shot that.
It's a good point. And I wonder like why they choose those two scenes specifically to do the POV, because in theory you could do it at any point. I wonder what it was about those two that they were like, okay, now
I understand the first one because it's like, oh, like he's in a mask, so it's almost like they even if they wanted to do like the little hole, like you're looking through the hole, that'd probably been a little bit too much. But it's just like, all right, I'm in a mask, I'm into size, and like you're seeing what he's seeing. The Max one, I don't know. I guess maybe because they want to do the shot of like we're putting a mask on you, so it feels like we're putting a mask on you, and like he's blindfolded, and then when he's revealed, it's like a reveal for you too because you got blindfolded. It's like maybe that's the the thought behind it. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I thought it was interesting. It was just unique. They tried to make it interesting, like versus just having them just regularly go in a car. Like, how do we make this look interesting or make this look cool?
yeah, you're right, because they don't have to do that,
Yeah.
but it's just a little something, and like, oh, this will be cool.
Mhm.
Then we meet Luther and Krager, and we get the classic breakdown of what the plan's going to be.
Yeah.
Ethan's like, okay, we got to steal this, and this vault is secured by 2 double locks, and we
Yeah.
need 2 cards, and then the interior vent is blocked by laser beams, and
Yeah.
if the temperature goes up 1 degree, the alarm goes off. If we make a sound over a whisper, the alarm goes off. If anything touches the ground, the alarm goes off, and all 3 of these are state of the art.
Yeah, I know, it's good. It's like
So
it makes me, even though this movie came out before, it's like that classic like Ocean's thing when they're all in a room and they're breaking down exactly what they have to do. They're kind of showing you what they have to do for the plan, and obviously it's not going to work out the way. There's going to be some problems, but it's just it's like, again, it's like kind of like a trope that you see like in these kind of spy movies, but you love it anyway because it gets you hyped. It's like, oh, how are they going to do this? Like they're just
Exactly.
telling you how hard it is. I'm like, all right, I know y'all are going to do it, or maybe you're not going to do it, and then something else is going to happen. And you're going to have to regroup and do a different mission. So it kind of leaves you like, all right, let's. You're hyping me up. Let's go.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. It's just hype up. It's just showing you, okay, we know we're leading to this mission. They have to steal the knock list, and we realize, okay, CIA headquarters is going to be hard, but they're like, no, we need to tell you exactly how hard this is going to be. We have to get past this alarm and this security system and this guard, and we have to do this and this. So it's just showing you all the obstacles that they have to go through to basically make us think, okay, when we get there, how the hell are they going to do this?
Yeah.
And the very next thing is the scene itself. So we could just jump right into it. But to me, I don't know. It felt a little bit like they hype it up to be super, super impossible.
Yeah.
Felt pretty easy. They climb in the vent.
Yeah.
They climb in the vent. Krieger holds him up as he. It is dope seeing him like hang, and then when he falls and is like an inch off the ground, like all that stuff's pretty cool. But we have Luther in the truck, and he's basically just saying where the operator is, like when he's out of the room, saying, okay, he's in the bathroom. Okay, he's coming. I don't know. I feel like he could have done a little bit more. We had Claire that poisoned him so that he would be sick. She could, like, I feel there could have been more involved,
Yeah, no, I get what you mean, and you know what it is? It's an interesting perspective, like to hear like how what you and Alexis thought about it, because I think that also definitely has to do. I think it has to do with the times of like the movie, and then also does the director, because like Brian De Palma, like, I mean, he's definitely done like a lot of different movies. Like I think his biggest movie people probably mostly know him for is like Scarface. Like everyone knows Scarface. He did Scarface. He did Carrie. He did like Blowout. He does a lot of like thrillers and a lot of like suspenseful movies. And I feel like that's kind of why the pacing of the movie the way it is. Because you guys saying you wish there was more action, and he's most like Scarface. There's action in it, but like there's always a lot of like he likes to build things up in like majority. Like I'd say if you look at all his movies, like a lot of his suspenseful movies is just like this build. So I think that the elements of this movie got put into this, which work to a certain extent. But I guess if you're someone that's like, oh, I want to watch like a popcorn action flick, you just want the bang, bang, bang. But like that's not really his style. I guess he kind of wants to build you up, which makes sense why this movie, this is the only one he ended up doing, kind of like that.
That's a good point. Yeah, the build up I think is good in this movie of like for example in the train scene, we see someone, but the windows like half covered.
Yeah.
They're like putting a gun together. They're getting ready to do something, but we don't know who it is. So that's a good way of of building suspense. Like, who is this person? Are they going to fuck up this whole plan? Like, what's going on? But I feel like, and I like that, but I think when it's time for an action scene, give me an action scene.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah, 100%.
What'd you think of this mission?
It was good, and even like to tie it back to like the whole breakdown scene, I feel like that was like a perfect moment for them to do a Family Guy moment when they're just like as he's describing, like, I think that this might be, I don't know if we can do this mission. This mission might be impossible. Just like look at the camera. Exactly. That was the perfect moment to have your Family Guy moment.
You're right. There is in the second one.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I watched it pretty recently. So it was when it's the same thing. It's the breakdown of what
Yeah.
Ethan has to do. It's like the CIA director that's giving him the mission.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, this isn't mission difficult. This is mission impossible.
No, that was such. I remember that was so forced. So it's so forced. It's hilarious, but it's just like, okay, it's just like we had to shoehorn that in there.
I feel like if we ever write a movie or we ever create a movie, we have to do a family guy movie.
100%. Yeah. It's just
No matter what
it's so funny, man. It's just a staple. And depending what the name of our movie is, it might be so ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's what I was just thinking, because last week we did our like we created our own movies, right? We should next time we do that, work in like what is your family guy moment?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Down.
We'll do that next time. You gotta have a family guy moment. It's so great.
But like you're asking about that scene, I just I thought I really liked it. Just that was a scene again too. I remember I said I remember the train scene really well. When the scene was happening, I was like, oh yeah, like that's like the cool, like you see him hanging like from the laptop, and there's like the cool moment when he gets like you mentioned, like he gets really close to the ground. And like I forgot about this detail, but like this is another cool thing of just like the bead of sweat and like the second sweat coming down, and then like the catch. I was like, oh, that's cinema. That literally is cinema. Like that's that essence of just like, let's really like build this and like zoom in and just see the drop and him just catch it. I'm like, that's what it is. It's all about.
And that's a very like, I feel like this has become like a Mission Impossible staple of like the super zoom in and like the very last second save. Like whatever bad thing is about to happen that's gonna screw up the plan, or the bomb's gonna blow up, or whatever it is, like the last possible second is when the thing's gonna happen.
100%.
And he's gonna catch the bead of sweat, or he's gonna cut the wire, whatever it is. But I feel like it's like we were talking about James Bond and
Bourne.
Jason Bourne. They don't really do that.
Yeah,
they don't really do like not like the maybe James Bond a little bit. He has some stuff there. It's like it's about to be screwed up. Like in the Casino Royale when he's about to die and he finally gets the plug into the heartbeat thing. But I don't know. I feel like this is what Mission Impossible is. And like it started with this scene in this movie, and it's just become a staple. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of elements of like there's elements from the show, and then I think they always use this as the foundation, and that's kind of what you have to do with any like successful franchise. It's like when you have like the original movie that did really well, it's just like, what are the elements that people really like about this, and like let's have this like be a staple. We can do different things in each movie, but like there's the staples that people like really enjoyed, and like how do we keep incorporating that? And like I think that was just one of those staples that they're like, all right, this is gonna be a last second thing. Like that's gonna be part of the essence of these movies.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the hanging from the wire, to me, that's like the thing. Like in this movie, like that's the scene that everybody remembers. It's like him hanging on the wire. That's what Mission Impossible is.
Yeah,
and that's 100%. Great. But that's what we could have got, like Luther doing the same thing, not the same thing, but doing something similar. Right? He's not Ethan Hunt. He's not the guy, but like I feel like he could have had a little more to do.
No, that's fair.
Because Ethan was awesome. But everyone else on the team was just kind of anyways. Then we get okay.
Train.
So actually, well, even before this, I have a question. So Krager, when he's up in the vent, right, and he's holding Ethan.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good part too, actually.
Yeah. So he's in there and he's struggling to hold him. And then there's like a rat that comes into the vent, and then so he drops Ethan. Does he kill the rat and then catch him? Is that what happens? It comes back and the rat's dead.
I was confused about that too. I'm like, how? He just bite it?
Yeah.
Like his hands are on the rope. How did he kill the rat? No, it's a good. I was thinking the exact same thing too. I'm like, how did he kill that rat? Like
I didn't know.
It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's like crucial to the plot or anything, but it's one of those things that you kind of look at him just like, what was the deal with the rat? Why was he so scared? Like, what do you think the rat was gonna do? Bite him? I guess. It made him lose all control in that situation and drop the rope, and then suddenly we're back and the rat's dead. I don't know.
Because I was like, there's either two things here. Either he dropped the rope so he could kill the rat and then catch Ethan, which would be insane. He's got the fastest hands in the West if that's the case. because
Yeah.
Ethan was maybe 5 feet off the ground.
Mhm.
So to drop him, kill a rat, and then catch him
Yeah, it's
would
insane.
be super speed. But so if that's not what it is, then he just dropped the rope because there's a rat close to him.
Yeah.
And he's a whip. I don't know.
I don't
that
know,
rat
man.
that rat caused so many questions.
Yeah,
for me.
it really. It's a good question, man. We need to figure it out, man.
yeah.
Someone needs to ask that on. Yo, Tom. I know you're promoting the new movie or anything, but from the first Mission Impossible, what was the deal with the rat? Next question. He didn't want to answer it. He's like, next question.
Yeah, that's classified.
Yeah,
can't tell you that.
Hey, the rat might make a return. The Revenge of the Rat's family in in Final Reckoning. That's what the Final Reckoning is all about. It's the reckoning of that rat that got killed.
The rat reckoning. The final rat reckoning. And then at the end of the scene, so the guy that is operating the computer,
the CIA
William
analyst.
Dunlow.
Okay, yeah.
Is his name.
I thought he was just a CIA analyst. I didn't realize he had a name.
Well, he has a name because remember he has to say it's like voice recognition to get in. So he says his name. So
you're right.
William Dunlow. So he comes back and there's the knife that's on the table, right? Krieger drops the knife. So he's like, oh shit, something happened. Someone was in here. Yeah. And then he sees on the computer that something got downloaded. So he's like, oh shit. He tells Kittredge, and then Kittredge is talking to like his right-hand man. And he's like, okay, I know about this and you know about this. It stops here. Like, okay, what about him? Send him to Alaska.
Oh yeah.
I want him operating a tower in Alaska by the end of the day. Just mail him his clothes. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I know.
That poor guy, man. He did the right thing. He told him, he's like, something happened. Something wrong happened. Better start learning Chinese, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. You're playing for the Shanghai Sharks next year. Yeah, that's crazy. Just ship them off like that, man.
Nasty,
I had a note about that. I had that note too because I was just like, that's crazy that they did him like that, man.
He got done so dirty, that poor guy. So then Jim comes back.
Yeah.
Kittredge sends Ethan's family to jail, so Ethan calls him. Jim comes back and says Kittredge is the mole. Then Ethan puts it all together and we see kind of what he's thinking. Yeah. I like what they did here, that like he wasn't sure about Claire. So we see he's like, okay, how did he blow up the car? Oh, it was Claire that blew up the car. And he's like, oh, maybe not. Maybe he was able to do it on his own. So we see both sides of it.
Yeah.
And so we physically see that. And it also tells us so we can understand that Ethan doesn't know. So he's like, is Claire on it? He doesn't want her to be. But what'd you think of the twist that it was Jim?
I thought it was good. Like, yeah, I think that's another one of the elements of these movies I think they do really well, where it's like, obviously it's the big action set pieces are a big staple of the movies, but they always keep you guessing. They'll have their tropes, but they always try to have some kind of twist. It's not always like someone on the team has flipped on you, but there's something that happens within the movie that you're like, oh, okay, oh, that person's back, or that person's whatever. Like, I just like those elements that, like, at least they keep you on your, I shouldn't say keep you on your toes, where it's just like, if you're not paying attention, it's just like something like, oh, I didn't think that was gonna happen. So I thought it was good.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna find out at some point who the mole is.
Yeah.
But we don't know who it is. We assume that Jim is dead. You know, so when he comes back, did you immediately think it was Jim? I mean, again,
well, I remembered. Yeah. So like, this is a rewatch for me. So I remembered that he did the Claire thing, though, that one. And I think the Claire thing, the Claire thing that got me. But looking back at it now, like the marriage between Jim and Claire looks so goofy to me. This dude could be like her dad. Like when he kept calling her his wife, I'm like, your wife?
Yeah, they have absolutely no chemistry.
Yes, none at all.
All the chemistry is her and Ethan.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, throughout the movie, like when Claire comes for the first time into Ethan's apartment when he's sending emails and stuff, he like jumps on top of her and he's like about to kiss. I'm like, this is Jim's wife? What do you like? I get you assume that Jim is dead, but
yeah.
Like, he died like yesterday, and you're just gonna try and hook up with his wife? What are you doing, man?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but like you said, like there's just no chemistry there. Like it just didn't feel believable to me when I'm looking back. Like looking at this, I'm like, that's supposed to be his wife. Like I don't know. Okay, they're
Yeah.
spies. It's not like it's in a situation where it's like he's like a billionaire or something, and she's like some like trophy wife or something. It's like they're spies. Like I was like, why would you just date this old dude? It just looks so. It just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It was just like I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong
Yeah,
at all. Um, and then we basically that we're at the end. We get the train scene. So
yeah.
we find out that Claire's in on it. He gets her with the mask
Mhm.
every time. Works
Yeah,
every time.
Yeah, nothing. No one's ever safe in these movies. You don't know
I
who.
know, bro.
You don't know if it's Tom Cruise in a mask. The masks have gotten better as the movies go on because usually what it is they literally just actually have a person, and then in that one moment, then it turns into a mask and he pulls it off.
Right.
Versus then in this movie, it's like okay, that's clear. He's clearly wearing a mask. It's not like another
Yeah.
actor,
Yeah.
and then he pulls it off.
And so Jim's there. He kills Claire. We get the whole big giant fight at the end. But I mean, we were just talking about it. So my question was like, did Ethan hit? Because so right before this, there's the scene where they got the knock list. It's Ethan, Luther, Claire, and Krieger, and they're kind of going over what they're about to do.
Yeah,
And he kind of like sleight of hand goes behind her waist and grabs it, and then he's like hugging up on her or whatever. I was like, did they hook up? Because then Jim says, "Oh, she wasn't sure if her advances would work on you. And
oh, yeah.
thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife." So he knew that that Ethan was into her,
Feeling
but like,
his wife,
did they hook up?
Yeah, I don't know. I did see something that like initially in the initial script they had like a kind of like a love triangle thing, but
Right.
they took it out because they thought it was like going to be kind of distracting. So like I wonder if like they just took out the scene, but they kind of left it in all those other elements where it was kind of like implied, but they didn't want to like dip too much into it. From the watch of the movie, I just watched it from what it was. So I like it didn't seem like there was like a something that happened because I think they just would have just showed it. So I think they kind of
Yeah.
like there was like a little bit of like a connection, but they never actually did anything with it. So I don't know. At least within what we got as the final product, I don't think they did do anything because if they would have just showed it,
Yeah.
if they
Yeah,
wanted to go that
I think
route.
you're probably right. And I did read about that scene that they cut as well, like with the love triangle. And I read that they took it out because they didn't want to change not the tone of the movie, but kind of what it's about. Like this was supposed to be at the start of the movie, so you would kind of go into it thinking this is a big part of this movie
Mhm.
is their relationship, Ethan, Claire, Jim, kind of what's going on here. Whereas like it's really not. It's not about the love triangle.
Mhm.
Like at the end it kind of comes back where Jim's just pissed about it, but
Yeah.
it's not. The movie's not about this, so that's why they took it out. But yeah. So the final scene. Give me your thoughts.
I thought it was great. I mean, it's so intense. Like this is what I was talking about. I was saying like that the train scene, like the wind pushing on his clothes. Like at one point, the wind's pushing so hard that his jacket comes flying off. Like it's just so intense. And like you obviously like know like they're not. There's no way they're actually on a real like. Well, they're on a real train, but they're not actually on like a real train as it's going through. Like everything around is like a green screen or a blue screen or whatever it is. But to me, it was
Yeah.
just so intense and like I thought it was really cool just because I feel like most like you see this is almost like becomes like an action trope too, but it's a little more goofy where it's just like people go on the top of trains and they're like walking on top of
Yeah.
trains and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, like I don't know if you'd keep your balance like that, but or like maybe they're doing the crawl thing, but like this movie in particular, the wind is just so intense. And it's just like something that like I can't compare it to anything else because usually they try to downplay it a bit more so the actors can talk or do something like that or like maybe actually be throw punches. But the way they depicted this is just like the wind is it's a bullet train basically, and there's just like there you can see it in the ripples in his face.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I read
so
that
intense.
there's only like one wind machine in, I don't know if it was the whole world or if it was like in Europe,
Mm,
they were filming this in France. But yeah, there was only one wind machine at the time
yeah.
that was capable of producing winds that fast.
Mhm.
And Tom Cruise is like, I need to have it. Like I need this wind machine because yeah, you're right. Like it's distorting his face.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how strong the wind is. And if you're going on a train that speed, that's what would actually happen. So that's really what they try to do. You're right. That was a good point too about like talking thing. Sometimes they downplay it so that we can hear what when they're talking to each other. But like, if you're on the top of the train, you're not going to be fucking talking to somebody.
No,
So
exactly.
the only real talking in this fight is when Ethan yells red light, green light when he puts the gum together and blows up the helicopter. But even that, like, he's screaming it and you can hear it like through the wind. So like it totally works.
Yeah, it's insane. I saw they're saying the wind machine pushes up to like 140 miles per hour.
Crazy.
Like, it's insane. And obviously, like, his weapons training, he did like resistance training, like wind resistance training, which is insane to prepare
wind
yourself.
resistance training.
Yeah, I know.
The hell is that?
I just imagine like that meme of like, you know, like the Family Guy dude sitting in the chair and the wind is just blowing for he's listening to music. I just feel like that. You're just sitting there, you just have wind pushing at you. I don't know.
Like,
man.
but like the Jackass thing behind a jet engine.
Exactly. That's what I imagine. I just imagine him getting pushed by a jet engine or something.
But like, what muscles is that working? Like, what are you training?
I don't know. I guess you're just getting your body. Like, you're just getting, there's no initial shock. I guess that's what it is. It's just like, let me just do this right now. So when we go on set, it's not like a experience that I'm not used to. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. Yeah. Just get it. Yeah. Just an experience you're not used to. He's like, okay, I'm used to this experience. Now when we do it, it's not foreign to me. I guess that's what resistance training is.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's my good.
Did you so when Max is there and they have the real knock list, and they're downloading the knock list and everything like that, did you think anything, like, was that something in the back of your head while this whole scene is going on, the whole fight and everything, you're like, are they gonna get her? Are they gonna block it? What's gonna happen? Or like, did it kind of, because to me, like, it's just about the fight on the train. It's just that, you know, he's really just doing this so he can find out who the mole is.
Yeah.
And now that I think about it, okay, never mind. I was about to say, now that I think about it, why did they even do the thing on the train if Ethan already put it together that Jim is the mole? Yeah. But he's doing it to find out if Claire is in on it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He needs to. Yeah, he needs to know.
I answered my own question. But the knock list, did you really think there was much there, or is it just about the action for you?
No, I think I think it was more about just like the action and like it became that became like it's behind the story now. Now we're trying to figure out what the mole is and all that other stuff. Like the knock list was just like it was a vehicle moving us around. It was a thing that everyone was kind of like working around, but it was more about like, I guess, the interpersonal relationships between those and trying to figure out what's actually going on there. And then you get the reveal.
Yeah,
Claire gets
and then he kills Claire. Yeah. Why did he?
I don't know. I was thinking that too.
That made no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't understand.
You have Ethan right in front of you that's screwing up your whole plan.
Yeah,
he just put the glasses on and like broadcast like, you're the mole. Okay, but you just got friggin' $10 million. Who cares if they know you're the mole? You could take that and disappear.
That's what I'm saying.
Kill Ethan. Why are you killing your wife?
Yeah, I guess so.
That made no sense to me.
I always wonder with those things too, because can he really like just disappear with that money? Because where are you gonna like? It's not actually. It's like bonds. It's not actually cash. Yeah, so you gotta like. Yeah, like you gotta actually deposit it somewhere, right?
There's probably like, you could maybe do like some black market trade or something.
Yeah, I guess so. Someone's like, "Hey, do you accept bonds?"
Yeah, or maybe you just go to like Switzerland and where they're neutral and you can't be extradited, and I'm sure there's some kind of
maybe you're right
way to do it, but I don't know. So I wanted to mention the train we were talking about. So they were actually shooting on a train. Tom Cruise wanted to use a French high-speed train. It's called the TGV for the final showdown, but the owners said no. He took them out to dinner, and the next day they had permission.
Wow!
So he friggin' turned the charm on. Yeah, they got seduced by Tom Cruise. I wonder what that dinner was like.
Yeah, I wonder like too, man. Yeah, someone needs to ask him that. Not all these little things. I need to know what was it on that dinner that day.
The rat, the dinner, a lot of questions.
Yeah, exactly. I can't reveal that. I can't reveal my trade secrets.
Yeah, that's fair. Awesome. Do you have anything else?
Well, I'm just kind of curious what I guess we kind of talked about how earlier there's not a lot of it, like we didn't get a lot of gadgets and stuff. I was just curious, like, what your favorite like spy element in the movie was. Like, I don't know if it was like the mask pull, the gum, I've talked about the self-destruct thing, or like whatever, or anything. Like, I don't know what your favorite like spy element in this.
I love the masks. The mask gets me every time.
Yeah,
because I love it. It's a recurring thing. Like, it happens in again, I've only seen 3 movies of the franchise, but it's happened in every single one. I'm assuming it happens in every movie.
I think it does. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. Because it's a staple.
It's their thing. Yeah, they gotta do it. Yeah, the mask thing is great. Love that. I also like you said, this thing will self-destruct. Like the way they get their message and the mission is always super cool. Like, you know, not the waitress, the stewardess that comes and says, "Would you like to watch a movie?"
Oh yeah.
But also, like, it's a movie on a cassette. How does that make any sense?
I don't know. Well, I guess there is a little screen there, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but how
it
is
is a
it
cassette.
playing?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. I don't know.
But even just the fact that they have an interesting way of delivering the news of the mission. How are they going to deliver this? And the classic line, your mission, should you choose to accept it, blah blah blah. Like, just the things that are now iconic, like staples of the franchise. They're staples for a reason, because everybody loves them, and I'm no different. I love them too.
No, 100%. No, that's good.
What about you? What's your favorite?
It's the mask pull. Yeah, that definitely is. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, it always gets me. And like sometimes I don't know why. Like even like sometimes I find myself when I'm going into the movies, I'll like forget that like it's a thing, and then when it happens, I'm like, oh snap. Like when it's done right, and it's just like, oh snap, like that reveal. Like I completely forgot about that. It got me. It got me in the what's it called? I'm forgetting the name of it. What's the one that's coming out that came out? Reckoning.
Yeah,
Reckoning. And the final Reckoning is the one that's coming out now. The one before that's just Reckoning.
But Dead Reckoning.
Dead Reckoning. Yeah. The one in that one got me. I might, that doesn't really spoil anything for you, because like, oh, thanks for telling me there was a face pull.
Yeah, there's going to be a mask pull.
It surprised me in that one. I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming, and I was just like, it's like a point at the screen kind of thing. Like,
God. And it's always like the character that they're using it against.
Yeah,
it's always when they're like delivering crucial information, where they're admitting that they're the bad guy or something, and then they pull the mask, and it's like, oh shit. you gotta like, I don't know, but if I was in this world, anytime I'm gonna have a serious conversation with everyone, it should be like standard practice. Let's pull on each other's faces. You know what I mean? Like, hi, you shake your hands and then you pull on each other's cheek, just to, like, you know what I mean? Like, it should be standard practice at this point.
No, that's so true. I wonder how many people actually know about it though, because we know about, because like we're obviously the viewers. His team knows about it. Is this like a known thing? Like, hey, watch out for Ethan Hunt. Watch out for the mask pull.
The masks.
I don't wonder if it's
but he's not even the only one that's
I guess
done
that's
it.
true.
We've seen bad guys do it. Like, it's just a thing in this spy world.
That's very true.
I'm telling you, man, if I go into a big meeting, that's just going to be like you can walk around the table, everybody grabs your hair or something,
Yeah, that's a good point. Did you have any other like points or any facts you wanted to share that?
No, I didn't. So unless you,
I got one more.
Okay.
This is an interesting thing that I saw was like this movie had one of the most expensive stunts of the 90s. And when I saw that, I had to look up. I was like, okay, what were the most expensive stunts from 90s movies?
Most expensive stunts, not of the 90s, but in this movie, what was the most expensive? It had to be, shoot, I don't know. Maybe I guess the train.
Yeah, it's the train. Yeah, okay. It's the train. Yeah, the number train was number 3 out of the top 5. So I'll just relist the top 5. So number 1 was in True Lies. There was the bridge explosion. It cost $25 million.
Jeez.
Just for one scene. Yeah, it's insane.
That's insane.
And Titanic is number 2, and it's kind of weird because like they just talk about the budget, how the budget for Titanic was $2 million, like $200 million, and it was just like the whole, like they created this whole ship and then made it sink. So like there's so much elements of it, but that was like the second most, which I guess it was cheaper than True Lies still, but like they just talk about how the budget was crazy. Then there was Mission Impossible, which was the tunnel scene, which I think they said it was like $6 million or something, which is crazy. And then Cliffhanger is just a scene when like he's midair and he's going from plane to plane. It's like a transfer thing. It was like $1 million stunt, which now as you keep going down, it doesn't sound like a lot, but just spending $1 million on a stunt is insane.
I know, like we just get desensitized to these numbers. Yeah, like in movies or in sports contracts, like someone's like, oh, this guy's only making $10 million, bum. You know what I mean? Like, but that's 10 freaking million. That's a lot of money.
100%. And then number 5 was in like The Rock, when there's like a San Francisco car chase, and I don't actually know how much that one. I think it was $1 million too, which is it's crazy though.
Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, though that was the last fact I had. It was just I thought it was interesting when I saw. I was like, oh, one of the most expensive stunts of the '90s. Like, okay, all right, let me go see what the most expensive stunts were. I got to go check that out.
Yeah,
So
you got it. You got to check
yeah,
it out after that. Yeah.
$6 million for that train stunt. That
So that's
tunnel.
I'm sure that's paying for the train,
Yeah,
the helicopter too. I don't know.
I
I'm
get.
sure it was
Yeah, I get
mostly
the wind machine.
CGI. Oh, the wind machine.
And then
True.
I
Yeah.
guess they had the CGI special effects stuff. Like I don't
Yeah.
know how expensive it would do all the green screen stuff back
Yeah.
then. I don't know if it's more. Is that stuff more expensive now or less expensive? I never really know with that.
It's
Do you
got to
think
be
as the
more.
tech gets better, wouldn't it be cheaper,
Yeah,
or it's
but I
just
mean,
or they
labor's
just keep
more
getting?
expensive.
Yeah,
Everything's
that's
more
true.
expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
So
got
just
to
yeah,
be
with the
more.
inflation, it just go up.
But
Yeah,
like relative to inflation, it might be cheaper.
yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
that's true. Yeah, no,
I
hundred
don't know.
percent. Yeah.
But
That's the last thing I got.
so it's time for the Filmmies.
Time for the Filmmies. Yes, it's that time of the show. It's time for the Filmies. And if you're new to the show, it's a part of the show where me and Scott, we give out 6 awards to the movie we're talking about. And the first award we have is our Ferris Bueller Award. And also, if you're new to the show, me and Scott don't know what each other's awards are. Like, I don't know what he picked, I don't know what I picked. Well, I know what I picked, actually. I know what I picked. Don't worry. And if we get the same one right, then it's classified as certified. So you'll see what happens if we do get something certified. But our first award is the Ferris Bueller Award, aka our Lazy Award, and it goes to a part of the movie that we deemed as lazy. It could be the actor, could be director, could be the writer, could be anybody on set. We deemed that as something that was lazy, but not necessarily something that ruined the movie. Just kind of something funny that we wanted to point out. So Scott, who gets your Lazy Award?
My lazy award
Ferris
goes
Bueller.
to Krieger.
Okay, Krieger. I think it's Krieger. Yeah.
And we talked about it's for like when he dropped the knife into the computer vault. Why did he even have the knife out? What was he?
Yeah, that's
what was he
true.
gonna do? Why did he need the knife out? Like he could have left that in his pocket or wherever he had it. Like what was he gonna kill Ethan? Like why did he have the knife out?
That's a good point. I don't know. No, 100%. Yeah, because like you think like you have a knife out, you're gonna cut the rope, or you're gonna turn on Ethan, but then why even bother holding him for all
Yeah,
that?
what was
Like,
the point of
yeah,
that?
what was the point? I mean, he had it because initially when they were fighting, it was his weapon, but yeah, why was it out in that moment? It just
Yeah, that was. I mean, I guess maybe it just got caught by accident, slipped out. And to be honest, I don't know if it really changed much
Mhm.
because when William Donlow comes in, he sees the knife, and that's when he checks the computer and sees that something got stolen.
Yeah.
But as soon as he opened the computer, I'm sure he would have seen it anyways.
Mhm.
So I guess it doesn't really even matter. But I don't know. To me, it's just you can't. You went through all this trouble to not raise the room temperature by a degree, touch the ground, make a sound, and then you just yeet a knife out of the vent. Lazy.
No, that's fair. That's a good one. For me, now I'm kind of realizing like I gave my Ferris Bueller to Sarah, but I think this is more of a Brian De Palma thing. Now that I think about it, because I'm giving it to her spraying the embassy security guard, like the way she did it. Because to me, there could have been a little more like finesse to it. That's my only thing. And I'm blaming it on Sarah, but now I'm like, well, maybe I'll put on De Palma because it's his direction. Because to me, it wasn't like a subtle like, oh, like hey, and then like maybe like it was just like she did this.
Yeah.
And it's like it doesn't even look like you're trying to spray it on yourself. Anybody walking around just saw you just do spray like this. Like it just it was too jarring to me. I was just like, well, you got to be a little more subtle with it. It's like when you like, like you hug someone, you stick a sign on their back. Versus like if you just walked up to someone, just stuck a sign on their back. That's the equivalent to me. It's like, can we get like an embrace? Can she be like, oh, sorry? Like, can she spray it on her hand and be like, oh, I like your jacket, and like rub it on his back or like touch his head, like, oh, you have nice hair, which is kind of weird, but it's a pretty girl touching a dude's hair. Maybe he wouldn't care, but oh, thank you. I don't know. I just didn't like it was just really jarring to me.
Yeah, you're right. I noticed it too. You're right. When she just sticks her hand behind her head and just sprays him. I was like, nobody noticed that. Like this room is packed. Like there's so many people here. But you're right. It could have been like she went to spray it on her neck and just like push it a little, or tilted it or push it a little behind her neck. But like if you just had a quick glance, you would think she was just spraying perfume on her neck or something. But
But it was just this.
yeah, it was just
straight
blatant.
up. So I guess
was
De
blatant.
Palma gets that. I'm just gonna give it to Palma because
Okay,
that's his direction. So
sure.
he gets my Ferris Bueller.
Nice.
Our next award is we got our fit check. So pretty self-explanatory. It could be your favorite or your worst fit of the movie. So I'm curious to see which direction you went with this one.
Yeah, it's a good one. I got my favorite fit. I gave it to Luther.
Okay.
And it's when they first meet on the train. We see him for the first time. He's got like a cream suit, like off-white suit, red turtleneck, the gold hoop earrings. Bro look like MJ, bro. He looks sick.
He kind of looked like Marcellus Wallace, to be honest.
Yeah, true. Good point.
He kind of did like Marcellus Wallace.
You're
in
right.
this. But MJ is a good comparison too.
Yeah, I saw
like
I saw that. I was like, yeah, he looks like Jordan.
No, that's a tough fit, and I can't argue with it because that's my fit check too. Yeah,
Let's
it's
go.
yeah. Like as soon as you said it goes to Luther, I'm like, I already know the fit you're talking about. It's just it's a hard fit, and especially because like in this movie, like I mean, we would sometimes we do this when we were watching a specific movie where it's like if it's a spy movie, people like are dressed up. Everyone's kind of dressed to the nines, but it's like, all right, who's going hard though? Who's flexing? Luther was flexing hard.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, like fit. Who's sticking out?
Yeah, no, who's not?
Right. There's a lot of people in suits. And whatever, but you have honestly the only one that I like, my runner up, I guess, would be Max. Had some good fits.
Okay, yeah, that's
Max
true.
Was kind of swagged out.
Yeah, no, I was gonna, that probably would have been my backup too. I was thinking, I was like, do I want to give something to Max, or maybe like maybe Claire, like I don't know, but I was like, but no, but then when Luther comes in, he hands like this, the glasses on. I'm like, I literally part of me was like, yo, this is Marcellus. Well, this is 2 years off Marcellus Wallace. I'm like, he's still in that aura.
Maybe maybe Tarantino saw him in this movie.
No, this came out after. This came out after.
Guy. Oh, this is after.
This is after, yeah, because Pulp Fiction was 94.
Oh.
Yeah,
never mind. Well, then maybe De Palma saw Pulp Fiction. It was like, okay, that's my hacker.
Yeah, maybe. There's some kind of connection.
And he didn't have to get penetrated in this one.
God.
Spoiler, I guess, if you haven't seen Pulp Fiction.
And our next award we have is favorite quote. So what was your favorite quote of the movie? Who gets your favorite quote?
It comes from the video that Jim watches.
Okay.
At the start, I think it sounds like Kittredge. Sounds like his voice song. I'll say it's Kittredge who gets my quote, and it's just the classic. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to obtain photographic proof of theft, shadow Galitzin to his buyer, and apprehend them both. It's really just your mission. Should you
no,
choose.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, no, that is, yeah, it's, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like if it's just like a classic or an awesome statement or whatever line, it's like, bang, that's what it is. I like it. That's good.
It's my favorite quote.
That's a good quote.
It's great.
That's a good quote. Mine, I was gonna say it's kind of cheating, but it's not cheating. It's not so much the quote, but the quote leads into what I really liked. So I'll just say it. My quote goes to Ethan, and it's in that same conversation where we meet like Luther then for the first time, and it's when Luther says, "It's like, you really think we can do it?" And then it cuts to Ethan. He says, "We're gonna do it," and it's the drop into the ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, we're gonna do it, and then it goes right in, ding, 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 and I'm like, yeah, that's it's just perfect. I mean, if the music isn't there, then maybe it's not lackluster because it would have just jumped into them going into it anyway. But it's just him delivering the line and going right into the theme, which I was like, that's my quote. We're gonna do it. It's just
quote / music.
Yeah, like exactly.
No, 100%. It's so. I mean, it shows the Ethan, the confidence, in this guy. You're like, this guy doesn't miss. This guy doesn't make mistakes. This guy's he's gonna get the job done. It's dope. You're right. Like it's so like on the nose of just like classic action. But
no, 100%.
I mean, this is what the movie is, and if you're going in expecting anything else, then that's on you. This is awesome. I love it.
It's great. Iconic theme.
So good.
Our next award is our 6-man award, aka our Peyton Pritchard Award. Hopefully he's enjoying Cancun. And this award goes to, it's not quite our MVP award, but it's an award that goes out to someone who had in their small role showed out and delivered a great performance. And we don't want to give someone some love that's not the MVP. So who gets your Peyton Pritchard award?
Yeah, my Peyton Pritchard on a beach sipping margarita award goes to Roland Hand,
Okay.
who is a character from the original show.
Oh, okay.
So he's not even in this movie.
Yeah.
But his character in the show, he's, quote, the man of a million faces.
Okay.
So he's the master of disguise in the show who made the masks. So he's the origin of the whole mask bit. I love the mask bit. We talked about it. And that's his addition to this movie. Tiny addition, but it created this whole bit that they just continually do throughout the whole franchise, and it's awesome. So he's my sixth man.
That's great. It's funny because I kind of did a similar route too. Like I gave my sixth man also to someone who's not in this movie, didn't necessarily work on this movie, but they're attached to this film based off previous things that got brought into this movie. That's interesting. We kind of both went that route.
Okay.
Like, because yeah, usually for the most part, our six men are usually about someone that's within the movie or has someone within this movie. But mine
it's
goes
someone that had a small impact on the movie nonetheless.
Exactly.
Even though they're not in it.
And you could debate whether this is a small impact or not, but mine goes to Lalo Schifrin. I hope I pronounced that right. And you're familiar with the name? The way you went, okay. Yeah, he's the guy that composed the original iconic like song. Yeah. And like they got like the YouTube members like Larry Mullen and Adam Clayton to like revamp it for the movie, but like it's his theme. Like he created the original theme, and that holds so much weight to this franchise. Like it's like the Pirates of the Caribbean theme to this. It's the Star Wars theme. It's the Avengers theme. Like when you hear it, it's just immediately the whole world just comes to you. It's just so iconic to this movie.
Yeah, not only this movie, like I remember like just being in school, if you were ever gonna like, oh, I'm gonna jump off the second stage of the play structure, I'm gonna do something that's considered super crazy. In your head or even out loud, you just start going bah, 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 bah. Or if you start crawling under a table or something,
it's so true.
You literally just start singing this theme because it's so iconic, it's so badass, it's so dope. Like 100%. It's perfect.
No, 100%. It's like if there's 2 minutes on the clock and you're like, all right, we're gonna do this dance. Yeah, it's just everything. Yeah, it's you're so right. It's the equivalent of like you take a shot, you say Kobe, you're gonna do something in crazy. You sing the Mission Impossible theme. You're on top of a ladder, you sing Jeff Hardy's music. You know what I mean? Like it's so true. It's like it's pulp culture. It goes outside the movie.
100%. Yeah. You spray a water bottle. Time to play the game.
Exactly. Yeah, it transcends. No, it's and that's why he's my sixth man. It's just like
I love it.
Such an iconic piece of music.
Great pick.
Our second to last award that we have is our best scene. So, what was your favorite scene in the movie?
Mine is the first mission in Prague. So, we get to see some gadgets in action. The spray. I mean, you talked about it was poor execution on the spray, but it was cool. And then they marked them and saw with the glasses, the camera glasses. They set it up so that's how they get the evidence. It all goes to shit. Everybody dies, and you mentioned this at the start of the podcast, saying like you don't expect this from the start of a movie.
Yeah,
like that. You're going into an action movie where these are our action heroes. You don't expect them to die. The team, they're going to get the job done. First mission, they all die. You're right. These are also characters from the original show. So if you're going in with that mindset, it flips that right away. It sets the stakes of the movie too, saying that like, yeah, all these characters can die. Maybe Ethan can't die, but like, he can blow up a fish tank and just walk out of there. But other than that, like it's just what you really don't expect. And it creates a twist right away. It's a great scene.
Yeah, no, that's a really great scene. And like, I didn't even, part of me almost was leaning towards that because like, it's such a strong opening to a movie. It's like just on its face, like we as we talked about before, and as you just mentioned now, it's just like to do that, to set this to the table off like that, where it's just like bang, everybody does. You're just immediately like, whoa, what's going on? Like I didn't expect that at all. And we joked about like if that came out today, we would have known that from the trailer. But but they kept the surprise for you, and it's just like it's a very strong way to start a movie.
And the scene itself, like So there's a lot of moving parts, right? So they're in the gala or whatever, and they're getting down into the basement. All that stuff is pretty interesting. And then when he gets outside and he's like, the list is out in the open. Like, what do I do? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, the tension is being built. Like you said, De Palma, he's cooking here. And then like everything's so eerie. Of course, there's a perfect fog over the water. Everything's so dark and eerie. And then Ethan's got to go to the bridge. Sarah's tracking this guy down, and he gets stabbed. Like, there's just so much going on in the scene that's very interested, keeps you locked in. And then the fact that everything flips is just, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, it's a great scene. It's good. I didn't end up going with it. I was leaning towards that and another scene, but I ended up going with the vault scene. Even though I said the train scene is something I remember the most, but when I watched this the vault scene, I was like, oh yeah, like that is really like, it's iconic. Just like the hanging and specifically just like the hanging like right at the bottom of the floor there. And it's just like I talk about like the slow like little bead of sweat, and like we're slowly like going back and forth. Like we have him slowly dropping down. There's the pull up, and this the CIA agent comes in, which is kind of funny. I'm like, he never looked up, but I guess there's no reason for him to look up. But I don't know. I just feel like if you enter a room, I feel like you just look everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, as I'm saying it's my favorite scene, I'm just kind of I'm like talking out like, it's kind of interesting he didn't
talk
just look
yourself
up.
out of it.
Yeah, well, it's just interesting he just didn't look up. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm different in that sense, but I feel like if I enter a room, I kind of just like look out the whole room, regardless if I was just in it previously.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is that he's like, this is like his everyday job, so he's probably just been in that room 1,000 times. So, there's no wow to it, so whatever.
That's true.
To me, the biggest thing that like I questioned in that scene was when he goes to throw up, he grabs a garbage can. Why is there a garbage? Who's emptying that garbage? He's the only one that with access to this room. Like, there's no way a janitor's going in and like, if he throws something out in that garbage, does he have to bring it out himself and empty? Like, why is there even a garbage in there?
That's so true. I didn't even think about that. Another element I liked about it too was also just like the complete silence. Like, if you go back and watch the scene, you realize that like there's kind of like the talking back and forth, but then once he goes down, you just realize how silent it is. Like when he's slowly going and he's typing, and even when he gets really close, there's just no talking. No one's like, yo, Ethan, you okay? Like, there's no whisper. It's just like they just have you sit in the moment. They just have you sit. And I think that's obviously like a nod to the Palma thing I was mentioning earlier. But like, I just thought it was just very tense. And I think I think maybe the reason why it ended up being my best scene, because I talked about how I remember the train. I didn't remember that so much. When I saw this again, I was like, oh yeah. And then all the elements of the scene I just really enjoyed. We talked about like the rope almost falling, the rat thing. Maybe we'll get some closure on that in the new film. but anyway, that was my favorite scene.
That is a good point about the music or the sound too. Like, there's no sound. That was confusing me a little bit. Like, why is Luther whispering? He's not in the room. Like, he is, they have an earpiece, but anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, like because they could have had music while he's doing this. He could have had like
suspenseful music or something,
or have some. But they keep it totally quiet. They really put you in the room with them. It's great touch.
Yeah, that's why in the end I went with it. Our final award is our MVP. So what was your MVP of the movie, Scott?
My MVP is Your Six Man. Lalo Schifrin.
Oh, okay.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so we I don't have to say anymore, but like, actually I have a little fact here. So MI in Morse code is 2 dashes then 2 dots.
Okay.
Which is the rhythm of the song.
Oh,
Snap. So then so it's not confirmed if he consciously used this. But apparently he said that he used Morse code for the rhythmic pattern of a different theme that he did for a different movie. So this is something that he has done before.
Yeah.
So maybe he did it for this one as well. And then he attached the notes to it, like the tone of the notes, but like the rhythm, the bump, 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 bump is Morse code for MI.
Oh, that's crazy. Damn. A little attention to detail, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and like we said, it just, the music transcends. Before I'd even seen this movie, like I said, I only watched it for the first time a couple months ago. But when I was a kid, I was going bum, bum. Like, exactly. It's just so good.
You not knowing the movie. You talked about you do things as a kid and you'd have the Mission Impossible. You didn't even see the movie, but you already knew the theme. It's just like it just transcends it. You don't have to watch the movie, and it just transcends. Yeah, it's iconic. It's a great MVP.
Yeah.
It's a great MVP.
Who's yours?
I went with Brian De Palma. I was been glazing him like the whole movie. so so it's mostly just because like I really like his films too. I didn't even realize that like later on Tarantino said that was actually one of his favorite directors. And it kind of goes to with which I kind of agree. Like he talked actually no, I'm not gonna talk about that. Forget the Tarantino stuff. I'm gonna talk about Brian De Palma.
Yeah.
And because his impact and his collaboration with Tom Cruise, I think I saw that a lot of the stunts and the pacing of this film, I think like really set apart like from other action movies. Like I said, we talked about a little bit like there is, which I agree with you as you guys you gave your point, like you and Alexis' point of like how it is slow at times. But I think his attention to like building suspense within this movie like really added like a really good elements to it, and just like the mystery to the movie, which is really good, as well as the set pieces. Like he really pushed for certain things to happen with, especially like the fish scene too. Like he was really pushing, and he's like they were actually filmed a couple of the scenes with the stunt double, and like they're trying different things. He's like nah, Tom, I think you need to be in it. Like we need to see your face. It'll mean more if we see you running out. Like we there needs to be focused on like he's actually doing that. Like and Tom was already up to doing like stunts, like specific ones, but he's like, no, it's gotta be like you in all of them. So I wonder if there was even like the push of like, you know what? Like something clicked in Tom's mind. He's like, every stunt's gonna be me. Forget sorry to that dude that was a stunt double that was previously working as Tom's stunt double. He lost a job because now Tom's just doing everything. But yeah, I thought it was great. I talked earlier about the POV shots, which I thought were really interesting. I talked about how like that little tilt, which I looked it up. It's called a Dutch angle, where it's like they do a zoom in and they have it like tilted just a little bit. Apparently, it's called the Dutch. That's the Dutch shot. That's apparently the name of it. And I thought that was really interesting because it's not like I've never seen it before, but I just thought it was used really well in these scenes when we had the dynamic of him when they're in like the fish like restaurant scene, and then also when he's talking to Max and they have it tilted and they're going back and forth. I just thought the direction of the visual storytelling was really good in this movie, and big fan of De Palma. Go check out Blowout if anyone hasn't seen it. Underrated thriller movie. I always give love to Blowout. It's an old movie.
Yeah.
And I just think it's underrated because it's like an 80s movie and it's not Scarface, so it doesn't get talked about a lot. John Travolta.
Okay.
But to bring it back to Tarantino saw Blowout and is like, that's gonna be my guy for Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Helped us a little bit get Pulp Fiction. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say it's a good pick. You know, I like all the points that you said. Like the POV shots were really cool. The Dutch oven or Dutch, whatever.
The Dutch angle.
The Dutch angle. That I don't know. It's almost like when I watched the movie, I was kind of like it didn't really jump out at me, but like once you mentioned it, I remember it being there, and you're right. Like it really did add to the suspense of those scenes. Like when Ethan and Max are talking, or Ethan and Kittredge, like there's supposed to be tension there, where because they don't trust each other, right? Like nobody knows in this movie who they can trust and stuff like that, and it's like that's already written into the scene, but to visually have it like we're breathing down their necks or we're standing over them and we're kind of like it just adds a little bit of that tension that is a really good point. I think kind of the over the top, super on the nose action points of the set pieces, like we said, the super mega close-ups of the bead of sweat, and the close-up of the guy shaking while he's holding Ethan on the rope, and when he's hanging and he's an inch off of the ground, which apparently he had to put like weights in his shoes.
Oh yeah,
to
like
balance
put
himself.
Like coins or something.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But all these little touches and the silence in the room while all of this is happening, like all these little touches that are, I'm assuming, director choices that all just add to it. Great pick.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And it's and I have another question too. Like I was like, as far as this movie goes, like this whole franchise, like what do you think it is? Like in the sense of like the spectacle, like do you think like this is I'm trying to think how to word this question. In the sense of like, what do you think it is about this franchise that it kind of sets it apart? Like you've only seen a couple of movies, but
yeah,
I guess we've kind of talked about a lot of things, but do you think there's like a specific thing? You think it leans a lot on Tom and just
I think, yeah, I mean, for sure, it
Yeah.
leans a lot on Tom. But I think also what sets it apart is that out of the ones I've seen, like you mentioned it earlier, there's always this sense of misdirection,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's the mask thing, where you're misleading someone to believe they're someone else, or that's the mole thing, like who is the mole, we don't know,
Mm-hmm.
or if there's a betrayal, someone that you thought was working with you is actually working against you. Like
Yeah.
there's always some kind of aspect that's happening behind the scenes that you don't know about, and a reveal is coming. Like you're always kind of kept on your toes. Like I remember reading that De Palma actually said this, like throughout this movie he wanted to basically keep the audience guessing at all times.
Yeah.
Like throughout the whole movie it'd be like, what's going on, who is this, why are we going over here, what's this guy up to, I don't know, who's the mole. Like there's so many questions in the back of your head throughout the movie that just add to the experience. That, yeah, you're seeing cool action set pieces, but there's also questions that need answering, and
Yeah.
there's twists and turns as we're going through. Like it's not just a pure action movie where it's like, okay, look at these cool stunts. Yeah, you're getting that, but you're also gonna be pulled in different directions, and I think that's kind of what adds to the appeal, because like a 007 doesn't really have that
Mm-hmm.
very much. Um, Born, I guess, a little bit,
Yeah.
but not really. It's more like the whole world against this one guy,
Yeah.
and how is he going to get out of these situations? But it's not like where are people's allegiances,
Yeah.
and who's is this someone else? Like there's so many mini reveals. It's not always just the big climactic reveal, but
No.
there's so many mini reveals that just keep you guessing throughout this movie that I think sets it apart.
No, for sure. That's a good point. I think at this stage of the franchise too, which is it's cool to see, like it's still getting people to come back. Like people haven't turned on it, kind of like the way other franchises maybe, like when they try to do like legacies. Well, at this point it's not really a legacy sequel because they've been constantly making movies, but it's the spectacle that Tom always creates around it. And we were kind of talking about the building at the beginning of it, where like they'll show you the behind the scenes of him being like, yeah, I did this stunt. Like
Yeah.
go watch this movie, go see it like actually transpire like in the movie. Here's the behind the scenes of me preparing for it. So you're like, oh snap, like I need to you need to go see it. You know what I mean? He's building it up. Like you can't do that with obviously every single movie. And like even like with Sinners, like couple like Cougar was building it up. Like again, not everyone can do that, but like that's part of the movie experience. That's always been the thing. It's like you build it up. Like you need to go see it. Why do I need to go see it? You know what I mean? So don't like, hey, I got action movies coming out, go check it out. It's cool. It's like,
Yeah.
nah, you need to see it because of it. At least give them like one thing to be hyped about. Still have a
Right.
strong story and all that stuff, but they always try to build the spectacles. When these movies come out, you'll see the long press tour of like, now you need to go in the theater and see this.
Yeah, and I think basically what it's doing is turning it into an event,
Yeah.
more than like a movie. If you're going and pushing like, okay, this is our movie, there's going to be cool action, there's going to be twists and turns, like you're going to have a good time, go check it out. But no, it's like this is the event of the year.
Yeah.
Like you got to go see this movie in it with everybody. Everyone's going to be
Exactly.
talking about it. You're right, the international press tour. I think that's another thing that adds to it, is that Tom, he's doing stunts in real life for press. Like what?
Yeah,
Who the hell does that?
Yeah,
Nobody does that. Like you're like, okay, this, my character is a super action star. That's enough. Like you're gonna, like, Matt Damon's not climbing on the top of buildings, and
Yeah.
like Keanu Reeves isn't doing that stuff.
Mhm.
But Tom is, because he's a psycho, and he's just this is what he does. Is
Yeah.
he just creates this
It's wild.
aura around the movie to be like, this is an event that you have to be a part of, not a movie you have to see.
Yeah, I mean, Keanu not as far as Tom, but at least in the John Wick 4, he's even pushing with that. I think he's kind of like I think he did a lot of stunts in Matrix, but like I think he doesn't like let as like I'm the stunt guy. But it's crazy, like even at his old age, like I think a couple of the motorcycle scenes. I don't know if you've seen the John
No,
chapter
I've only seen
4.
the first. I've only seen 1 and 2.
Okay, apparently
gotta
the
see 3 and 4.
motorcycle scene when you watch that movie, apparently he was doing a lot of that, which I was like, all right, shout out to him. It was pushing 60s. This guy's still
I think I
doing
saw.
crazy scenes.
I saw
behind the scenes or something?
Behind the scenes of him. It was on a stationary bike though, and he was just like pushing people off and stuff with green screen behind. And that was actually him. I mean, obviously that's not really a stunt anyways, but the stuff actually driving through the street, if that's him, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
No helmet or nothing, obviously.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But
that's one thing about like in this movie or any movie really, if you're gonna have a motorcycle, one thing you don't want to cover your actor's face. I get it, but it also like look how tough these guys are. They don't even care. They don't have
no helmet on. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a little subtle thing you don't even think about actually. Yeah. Because even in Top Gun Maverick, I'm trying to go on like a complete tangent, but yeah, he's a lot of times on a motorcycle with no helmet. It's just like, it's pretty risky. It's just for a movie scene, but hey, looks badass.
They don't, and they don't want to cover your actor's face.
Exactly.
You have Tom Cruise. You want to show his face. Maybe not now. He's 62, but when he was a heartthrob, you needed
exactly. That. But that's all I got. That's all the facts I got, or my final questions.
That's all we got for us here at the Film Room Podcast. Then. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at the Film Room Pod. Be sure to leave us a review. And I think I got a fair deal here. 1 star for each number of the original team that died in this movie.
Okay. Was there 5?
However that many works out to be.
I think it was 5.
We got Sarah.
Jack.
We got Claire.
Yeah.
Jack, and Ethan doesn't die.
Well, I thought you just said members of the original team
that died.
Oh, that died. Okay.
So it's Sarah, it's Jack,
yeah,
it's Claire,
yeah,
it's Hannah, and Jim.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, 5. Wow.
Yeah, that works. That's crazy how that works out.
Crazy, right? Thank you guys for listening. We will see you next week for the brand new Final Reckoning. That's going to be next week. Excited to see that. We're going to have our thoughts on it. And over to Dion. What do you got for us for the end of the episode?
And well, only a couple of people are going to get this. But remember, Job 3:14 says, I just saved your ass, Jack. And that's the bottom line. Kid Ethan Hunt said so. Peace out.
Peace.